Jiram Playgrounds. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. I then passed alone through many forests of rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds, and caves, which were very difficult to go through alone. I visited deep, dark, and dangerously fearful forests, which were the play-yard of snakes, owls, and jackals. Purport. It's the duty of a mendicant, Parivrajaka Acharya, to experience all varieties of God's creation by traveling alone through all forests, hills, towns, villages, etc., to gain faith in God and strength of mind, as well as to enlighten the inhabitants with the message of God. A sannyasi is duty-bound to take all these risks without fear. And the most typical sannyasi of the present age is Lord Chaitanya, who traveled in the same manner through the central Indian jungles, enlightening even the tigers, bears, snakes, deer, elephants, and many other jungle animals. In this age of Kali, sannyas is forbidden for ordinary men. One who changes his dress to make propaganda is a different man from the original ideal of sannyasi. One should, however, take the vow to stop social intercourse completely and devote life exclusively to the service of the Lord. The change of dress is only a formality. Lord Chaitanya did not accept the name of a sannyasi. And in this age of Kali, the so-called sannyasis should not change their former names, following in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya. In this age, devotional service of hearing and repeating the holy names of the Lord is strongly recommended, and one who takes the vow of renunciation of family life need not imitate the Parivrajaka Acharya like Narad and Lord Chaitanya, but may sit down at some holy place and devote his whole time and energy to hear and repeatedly chant the holy scriptures left by the great acharyas like the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasin Gaura Bhaktinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nala Venu Sharastanba Kushaki Chakagavaram Eka Evatiyatoham Adraksham Vipinam Mahat Ghoram Pati Bhayakaram Vyalo Luka Shivajiram. I then passed through many forests of rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds, and caves, which were very difficult to go through alone. I visited deep, dark, and dangerously fearful forests, which were the play-yard of snakes, owls, and jackals. Narad Muni is explaining how he went through different places in the creation and his experiences. In the purport, Prabhupada speaks about the sannyasi, how he would do the same thing. In Bhagavatam, in the first canto, Krishna is described as Swarat, independent. He is independent because there is no obligation, that's one. Second, there is no energy acting on him. There is nothing controlling him. Jivas are not independent. We are not independent. We are under different energies of Krishna, and even within this world, for example, someone may be in a country and there'll be laws. We are under those laws, whichever country you go to. We may not see the laws, but they're there. Similarly, the jiva is not independent. We are under laws of the Vedas. As long as we are not liberated, we have to follow the Vedas. Everyone has duties, obligations to do. People who cannot see and understand what is their duty, say that there is no duty. But that's not an excuse. Not knowing your duty. For example, if someone breaks the law in a country, they'll be punished. You cannot say, I didn't know. They may be a little lenient, but you'll still be punished. Similarly, it's our duty to know about this creation, what is our duty, what is our obligations, what we have to do. Even if you take it on a gross level, we are not independent, we are under our senses. So in that way, Jiva is not independent at all. We cannot reject religion and Veda and say that I don't want to follow this, I want to be independent. You cannot be independent. In fact, those who agree to come under laws of the Vedas and of God, they are relatively independent in the sense that they somewhat conquer over the mind and the senses, which are like snakes. The mind and senses are described as snakes, which can anytime attack and cause us great suffering. Uncontrolled mind and senses. But those who voluntarily give up their minute independence and place their desires and actions and goals in the Vedic path, then they are somewhat peaceful and controlled, in the sense that I'm not going to listen to my mind and senses because I have to listen to the Vedas and say this is what I have to follow. So everyone is obligated. As Yudhishthira Maharaj says here in first canto of Bhagavatam, in I think it's later verses, that as the cow is led by the ring on its nose, when you pull, it must come. So we are bound by the Vedic injunctions, we must follow them. We are bound. Bound up means if something is bound up, it cannot roam freely. A dog, if you tie it up, it cannot roam. A cow is tied up sometimes, it cannot go here and there. And some people will say, I forget about dogs, but cows, why are you tying up the cow, why are you keeping it? But actually it's a symbiotic relation. It's actually good for the cow. Cows and within always a part of human civilization, according to the Vedas. Now, once someone may say, no, it's not good, we shouldn't be cruel to animals and let them go, like vegans say. Vegans say, don't exploit the animals. So, okay, now we want to follow a different rule now, okay? So we follow that rules, but where will it lead? We don't know. Malnutrition, and so many other things we don't know. It's experiment. And now why don't you experiment with someone's with health and with our human civilization, giving up things which are ordained in the Shastra? Shastra says, Krishi Goraksha Vanijam Vaishya Karma Svabhavajam. Vaishyas are meant to keep cows, protect them, and that means we get milk, and milk should be utilized. So, of course, Ayurveda explains the benefit of milk. Now, so some people say we'll not follow that, thinking, okay, we are independent, we'll decide. But Gita says we should farm, we should trade and keep cows. So, if we do not follow that, thinking we're independent, there will be repercussion, there will be reaction. The Veda knows best. Vedic knowledge is Ved Narayan Sakshat. It's directly Narayan in text form. So the Jiva is bound to follow. He's bound to follow. So Yudhishthira Maharaj says that as long as the Jiva is not liberated, he must be following Vedic injunctions. When we follow Vedic injunctions, we come under high energy. We come under Vishnu, because Vishnu is, he says, Maya Tata Midam Sarvam Jagat Avyakta. Krishna, Vishnu, he's all pervading everywhere. When we follow Veda, we are following Vishnu. When we follow Vishnu, it becomes all auspicious. Jiva's life is auspicious. This country is auspicious that takes up Vedic laws and rules. It becomes auspicious, it becomes peaceful and prosperous, and that was the situation before. One simple thing Prabhupada said, for example, Now people are struggling, for example, in families to earn money. So what do? Send the woman to work, send the man to work. Kid, if he, okay, let him study. As soon as he can earn, send him to work. Why? There's no money. It's Kali Yuga, we need money, we are suffering. But Shastra says, Prabhupada repeats many times, if in a marriage, the man does his duty, woman does his duty, they both live together peacefully, then Mother Lakshmi will smile on and provide whatever they need. Simple thing. People have to follow their duty, follow their, in a Grahastha ashram, what they meant to follow. All these yagyas and things, they're not, samskars are meant to be done. So in this way, Jiva is bound to follow. He's bound by the Vedas. And the Vedas, according to our conditioning, give us different duties to follow. Different obligations, different festivals, vows, duties. You know, in Sanskrit you have swakarma, kartavya, sanskar. Okay, then observances, utsav, festivals. These should be followed. And they are different for people in different orders. Here we are speaking about a sannyasi's duty. Sannyas means tyag, giving up, one who is given up. We have a tyagi, this given up. What does he give up? He gives up fruitive activity. Fruitive activity is karma, in the sense that karma is acting with a view to enjoying the result. That is karma. So we can do karma in any way, but Shastra says no, you do it like this, for example, as a Shudra, or as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or a Vaishya. We do our duty, a result comes, and we enjoy. But we have to do our duty in that role. So that is fruitive action. But a sannyas says, and we actually, the jiva, he wants to enjoy. Enjoyment is one of the requirements of this body. And everyone is having those desires. But when one comes to gyan, knowledge, through gyan, one is able to detach. Gyan means when one has deeper realization, I'm a soul, I'm not the body, so why am I satisfying the body? As I heard one sannyasi saying, ISKCON in one temple, if you think I'm a man, then man needs a woman. If you think I'm a soul, soul needs to serve Krishna. If we think I am a soul, eternal servant of God, a servant of the Parampara, Sri Guru, then what do we need? We need service. We need engagement for service of God. That's what we need. So the jiva, he does duties according to his level. But when he gets gyan, knowledge, realization of his role, identity as a jiva, and his duty as a servant of God. Servant of God means, here, how does that in Goloka, that manifest in the way of helping Krishna to enjoy his Leela? How does it manifest here? Servant of God, following the Vedas. Following Bhagavad Gita's instructions. Manmana, bhava madbhakto, madhyaji, mam namaskuru. Think of me, Krishna says. Manmana, bhava madbhakto, become a devotee. What does a devotee do? That's given in Bhagavatam, 9 forms of devotion. Bhava madbhakta, madhyaji, worship me, worship Krishna. Madhyaji, mam namaskuru, offer obeisance to me. Prabhupada said in one lecture, simply by offering obeisances to Krishna again and again, we advance. Why? He said offer obeisance, and we are coming offering obeisance. So we advance. There's only one way that we can advance more than offering obeisance to Krishna, and that's offering obeisance to Sri Guru. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, I repeat many times, the name of the pure devotee of the Guru is more powerful than the name of God. The abode of Sri Guru is more powerful than the abode of God. Actually, it's God's mercy coming, but in a more free way through the Guru. He'll very readily give it much more. So, simply by offering obeisances, we advance. we are duty bound to follow. So when one follows the Shastra, this is how you do it. When you say I'm servant of God, it means following your duty. And one more thing, if we are saying we are serving God, we have to understand what is His desire, transcendental desire, and manobhishta in the sentence. His spiritual desire, his what pleases Krishna. And that Bhagavad Gita reveals everything about that. What is the best way to please God? He says it. What is the best way to please? And he says, even in future, no one will please me more than this person. Bhavishya chame tasman anya priya tharo bhuvi. On this earth, no one will please me even more. Yes, one hand is up.
Discussing the conversation of Krishna and Arjuna among devotees.
Basically, ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu vidhasyati bhakti mai param gritva. In Prabhupada renders it as preaching of Bhagavad Gita. The principles of Gita propagated among those, he says, mad bhakteshu, those who are not envious, the devotees. But of course, sometime in an assembly we'll speak, because some are devotees, some are not. But those who are devotees will come up and pick it, get realized the message. So, how does it manifest? Becoming a servant of God, following the Veda, preaching, following our duties, and becoming a devotee and propagating the devotional service. Then it manifests in Goloka as helping, picking fruits that Krishna will like and giving it to him, and going on the Yamuna on a boat and whatever. Cannot remember all that. So this is how we manifest the servitude of God here. And so here we're talking about Varnashram also. So a sannyasi is one who has gotten knowledge, realization that I'm a soul, I'm a servant of Krishna. So he stops pursuing sense gratification. Now we are talking on high level, and it's not, maybe in our realization, but we can discuss it. Within our realization right now, we are still bound by sense gratification. But we are speaking about sannyasis, that sannyasis are at a stage when they stop pursuing sense gratification, supposedly, supposed to be, and do not perform karma, actions for their sense gratification. Rather, they perform everything for Krishna. Everything for Krishna. So the sannyasi does that. He simply serves God. And there are 4 stages of sannyas. Here they are describing the Parivrajak Acharya. What is the first? Kutichak, then Bahudak, then Parivrajak Acharya, and then Paramahamsa. These are the 4 stages of sannyas. So the Parivrajak Acharya stage is when he travels and moves around. This is common for sannyasi. There are different reasons for that. One is not to develop attachment. Other is that it's the need of the hour on this planet. What is the need of the hour? Oil, petrol. No. Tariff-free nation. No, the need of the hour is God consciousness. It's required. We need so many young people to come and teach it. This is urgent. So this is required. We should take up the role of preaching the information that Krishna has put in Bhagavad Gita for benefit of everyone. It has to be propagated. People are very busy in their sense gratification. They don't understand what they should be doing, what is our role. They can't understand, and they're suffering in this ignorance, avidya. So the sannyasi goes from, it says here, town to town, village to village, and not only that, it says here that he travels God's creation by traveling alone through forests, hills, towns, villages, to gain faith in God and strength of mind, as well as to enlighten inhabitants. He also travels to gain faith in God, because a sannyasi will not accumulate things, and he'll not be under some organized system, everyone's providing for him. Rather, he'll land in some place and he has to depend on them. But he understands, if he has deeper realization, that Krishna is everywhere, he's supplying. He'll not have any fear. I heard from one Padayatra devotee, how they used to go to villages, different, like a similar thing like this. They don't know, In one way they know, in one they don't know what they'll face in the next village. He said they went in one village, everyone was very hostile. And actually, most of them were not from Sanatana Dharma background. So they were hostile and, insulting and everything. Finally, they thought better stay out of the village. So they didn't enter the village, they came out and stayed outside. He said then they woke up at 2 a.m. and there was, for some reason, some elephants had gone mad and run through the village and destroyed houses and killed people. That same village. So he gave one example, and different examples they give about getting food and protection of the Lord and everything. He said that we realize that we are not alone. We are traveling, we are going, we are depending on Krishna. For some people it's fearful, and so when one comes to that stage, and to come on that stage, one has to practice like this. Sannyasi will go. Nowadays I hear that people travel, they have to have a credit card, debit card, some money, foreign currency. I'm talking about international travel, and backup, phone, and telling them, I've gone, okay, I've landed, now I checked in, now I'm here, in case something happens, someone should know. But it's not like that now with a sannyasi. No money, no possession, nothing, just come there. And Prabhupada said, once he came to one property, and he said, is it good? Okay, let's take it. He looked at one of his disciples, actually Ambarish Prabhu. Will you buy it? Yes, okay. Then Prabhupada commented, I came here with no money. I saw, I liked, and my disciples are buying and they'll take care of it. Of course, when he also came to America, he had no money. So fearlessness, abhayam, is a divine quality. And that comes, someone who has that, you can understand, as I mentioned many times, that either they're totally ignorant, they don't know this world, or they are self-realized. They know fully what this world is. They are fearless. So one cannot come on that level until they are on this. Sannyas has to come on this level. Actually, I heard that their karma should finish. Their sinful reactions are relatively finished or nearing about to finish. Then as they go through sannyas, it finishes. Sinful reactions. And one cannot be fully, satatam kirtayanto, always engaged in Krishna consciousness without a break, unless he's liberated. Iha yasya hare dasya karmana manasagira nikhila avasthasu jivan mukta sauchyate. Jivan mukta, a liberated soul, is able to constantly engage. Otherwise, our conditioning pulls us this, that. Something's good on the phone, or something's going on the road, let me look. Or the mind wanders somewhere, yesterday what happened, tomorrow this will happen. We are like that, we are all on this level, we are not liberated. But it's supposed to be that when one comes on sannyas level, their sinful reactions have finished. Therefore the desires are not there. Guna is not there, basically, the guna, which drives us for sense gratification. It's not there. And therefore, then one is able to constantly think of the Lord and worship and serve Him. But that is a level that one must come to. Prabhupada refers to the sannyasa ashram as the crest jewel of all ashrams, because it is very conducive for spiritual advancement. And I heard one description by Maharaj, Bhakti Maharaj. He was writing notes for commentaries on, was it Bhagavad Gita or something? And then one comment was there that brahmacharya and sannyas, it's like a fast car which you can go very fast where you want, but you have to be very attentive at high speed, much more. We cannot speak on the phone, adjust the stereo, or whatever you want to do. We have to be very attentive. And so this is the thing, that when one is coming on this level, they're very astute as to their schedule. This time I must do that, this time I must. And the rules that we follow, sometimes don't follow, they'll follow very much, because Maya attacks more as one advances. So they will not be focusing on their sense gratification or that, but they'll be focusing on 100% on Krishna's lotus feet and how to serve. So everyone has to come on this level. Now, of course, women cannot be on this level. There are different reasons for that. One reason is that women cannot travel alone and go to a strange place where people they don't know anyone. That's considered dangerous. So women cannot take sannyas. In fact, their renunciation is in the house among family members. They can be in that environment. But sannyasi going alone to a village like that, as Prabhupada said, that 16-year-old boy can travel all over the world, not a 16-year-old girl. So sannyasi here it's meant for men, not for women. Now we have many sannyas claiming to be sannyasis. Prabhupada says, one who changes his dress to make propaganda is a different man from the original ideal sannyasi. Not simply wearing the cloth. We're talking about the upper sampradayas and so many people claiming to be gurus and sannyasis now today who are not. And in the modern age, sannyas is actually forbidden, but this refers to that Mayavadi Vedic form of sannyas. The devotional, now the sannyas they follow now is not like before, bare feet, go in the jungle, and now it's this sannyas that we follow, this is not forbidden. That we use cars, everything, whatever in the service of Krishna and be right there and propagate the mission. Yukta Vairagya. The Mayavadi sannyas was different. They'll eat austerely, sleep on the, of course we also sleep on the floor, we are austere, but in a very extreme way. We can't imagine. So that's not allowed now. In this age, devotional service of hearing, repeating the holy names of the Lord is strongly recommended. And one who takes the vow of renunciation of family life need not imitate the Parivrajak Acharya like Narad and Lord Chaitanya, that's walking, going around like Lord Chaitanya did. He walked all around and went and like that, Said no need to do that, but they may sit in some holy place and devote their time and energy to hear and repeatedly chant holy scriptures left by great acharyas like the 6 Goswamis. So within the duties of the jiva in this material world, the Varnashram institution is given. So among that, the sannyas is there, here being spoken about. And we can see that Narad Muni was something like a sannyasi. Otherwise, we are discussing this topic here. That what did he do? He went through all of these places. And he experienced the creation, even danger, difficult situations, but he was not perturbed and disturbed. That means we can say, practically speaking, he was not a part of this material world. He was absorbed in Krishna. One who is a devotee, always in Krishna consciousness, practically speaking, they're not part of this world. They can even go to, then it says that, Narayana para sarve, na kutashchana vidyati, swarga apavarga narakeshvapi, tulyartha dishrate. Tulya means equal. Tulyartha drishyate. He will see everything equally. Hell, heaven, he'll always be Narayana Parasarva, always absorbed in Narayana. So someone may ask, it's very common. People ask me, what do you like, Chennai, Bangalore? Do you like Tanzania or India? Do you like, it doesn't matter what we like, because wherever we go, we are doing the same thing. And it's all Krishna's creation, but we are not meant to be engaged in going into it. I like this place, the food is good, I like the weather, I like this. But the thing is, we are supposed to just follow Krishna's order, and in his creation, we have to see what Krishna likes. Krishna likes me to be here, I'll be here. Krishna likes me to be there, I'll be there. Krishna likes I do this seva. And what do I like? Well, in beginning stage, when we are maybe not on the level of pure devotees, it will be a disturbance. I prefer this like that. But in a later stage of realization, we do whatever is good for the mission, and whatever we're given we can eat. I'm not on that level. Whatever is for the mission we do. So at that stage, that's an advanced stage, and one cannot, for example, be fully engaged in service of the Lord 24 hours unless they are fully absorbed in the Supreme Lord and purified of material contamination. Otherwise, the guna is pushing us not to serve, but to live in a different way according to our conditioning. So Narad Muni in this stage is explaining how he went through all this creation. He was not perturbed. He went on dangerous places, nice places, bad places. 2 verses ago it's explained also that he did not get attracted to material advancement. He saw opportunities, saw minerals, gold. He didn't stop and think, hey, I can make money here. I'll sell this gold and make a big company, and build a big house. Then I can do programs and call everyone. He thought, no, let me just focus on serving the Lord, meditating on the Lord. So he was on this level. Hare Krishna. Any question? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. I'll send